Hey guys, Coach Russell here. First and foremost, let's say a big thank you to Brendan and Jenny for the training that they put on this past Saturday. Outstanding information, tons and tons of information. I think one of the ones that really got a lot of people going was nutrition, and one of the big ones was tracking food, which I have a little specialty in. I have some tricks for you guys, or tips and tricks for you. So I'm going to quickly show you my screen for my food tracker, which is Lose It. But as we were talking in the training, all these are kind of similar, right? There's not really one that's way better than the other. They're pretty much all similar the way they work and track. So what I do real quickly is I set up my calories right here and I set up my protein right there. So my goal is if I come, I want to come between, 190 to 210 grams of protein. That's a guideline I use personally. And then calories, I'm on a diet, so I'm last few weeks of my diet, so I cut myself a little down. Um, I set this budget, and that's, if I'm a little over like this, I'm not too worried about it. All right. So, what I do is I pre plan everything. I think of my house as a restaurant, especially when I'm dieting for results. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time, right? And I don't want to be in a diet too long. I don't like eating low calories for too long. So, what I do is I set my place up as a restaurant. I meal track my whole week. I know what I'm eating Friday, right? So I know it sounds a little meticulous, but if you're not doing this, you're not setting yourself up for success. Not that I go off it once in a while, and I'll show you how I go off and pretty much meet some of my goals. Um, and most of these have a feature where you can edit, select all, and copy. And that's all I do is I just copy for the whole week. So I don't have to keep on adding the same thing over and over and over again. And let's say, instead of chicken thighs today, I want, another form of steak or some pork, right? I could just erase that and put the pork in there. Pork might be a little bit fattier, so I might have to make a little, or it might be a little bit higher in calories. I might have to make a little adjustments to other meals. That's all it is. It's pretty much like a simple math equation, right? You want to make sure when you first set this up, make sure you're picking the correct one. I know a lot of them have check marks. So if I put in an USDA avocado into MyFitnessPal, I know it gives me a check mark. That means it's been verified. The calories, the weight, and whatnot. I'm not sure if mine does. I can't remember if this Lose It app does it, but I pretty much know what looks right and what doesn't look right. So I can look on there, like if it gave me, for 100 grams of blueberries, it gave me 200 calories. I'll be like, there's something really off here. And I'll have to pick a different form of blueberries. But usually on these apps, they have people that clean this stuff up because some people will enter in their own stuff. Speaking of entering in your own stuff, you're like, Russ, what if I have a meal that I prepare myself and it's a big meal where I cut in portions? You can actually, on a lot of these, make your own recipe. So if I wanted to make my tasty lasagna dish, I would put in the cheese amount, I would put in the beef amount, I would put in the noodle amount, the sauce amount, depending on what sauce it was, and then go from there, right? I would put it all in the app, and then I would split it into portions. So when I select it on my app, it'll show, 1/4 portion of Russ's lasagna. And that would be my meal for the day. And that would fit in and it would add up all of my calories. Hopefully that makes sense. So I wanted to show you one more thing. When, let's say, a buddy of mine calls me up, hey, want to go to dinner? Cool. What I'll do is I'll wipe out my fifth and sixth meal. So this is my dinner and my snack after. And you'll notice it gives me, I'm worried about protein here. So, I have about 50 grams of protein to play with. So let's go to let me see, let's go to a dinner spot. And I picked BJ's just because it's simple. It's here in town, something with pictures on it. Let's say I'm like, I want the slow roasted sirloin, not sirloin. It says it's about 8 ounces. It's giving me about 590 calories. If you're in the training, we talked there's a big variance with this calorie marker, so I'll go on the high end with this, right? Because if we don't know how much oil they're using, how much butter. You could always ask for it without, right? And then go from there. Let's see. I don't know if it gives me the calorie count for this. Probably not. So I had what did I have? About 500 calories? I forgot what I had to work with. Let's see. I had about 600 calories, let's say. So what I might do, this is what I would do if I was going out to eat. I would notice this is about 8 ounces, it says right here. I'd probably eat half of this, right? Give me about 300 and change worth of calories. I would add the baked potato. I probably wouldn't add anything on it as far as, I don't know. So it's, just do green onions or something. Myself personally, I'd leave the butter off just because I'm worried about some extra calories. And then, if you wanted to, you could do some veggies. I kind of don't count the veggies just because I think I'm not going to eat that much broccoli in there to make a difference. I don't even know if they have broccoli. Oh, here it goes. Steamed. I don't know about that sauce. I'm kind of making a big deal out of my meal. Oh, here we go. Roasted asparagus. Perfect. And then this is it. I'm not gonna overthink this. Like, I'm going out to eat. I'm hanging out with friends. I'm enjoying myself. So I'm not gonna overthink this. I'm just gonna go with this and have it be done. Again, if I'm trying to lose body fat in a small amount of time, I'm gonna pick and choose the times I go out to eat. Right? I'm not going out to eat all weekend. I'm going to be very diligent because I want to be in a calorie cut as short amount of time as I possibly can. So that's what I'll go with. And I won't cry about it tomorrow morning. I won't do extra exercises or try to punish myself for what I did. It is what it is. And I just move on. I take a great estimated guess and move on. A quick one for those of you who like, let's say, kid has a soccer game, you're in town, and the only thing you can find fast food that's kind of sort of good is Chipotle. Chipotle has a nutrition calculator on here, and which is kind of great. So I can pick and choose. Remember, I had about 500 calories or 600 calories and about 40, 50 grams of protein. So I would do double steak. What I would do is just load this up, right, with the stuff I already want. And then I would delete from here. So I'm already looking at, I put in 1,000 calories. So what can I get rid of that I know would be calorie ridden? Maybe I get rid of the guacamole. Maybe I'll go light cheese. Maybe I'll go light beans. And maybe light rice. And there we go. Look at this. So I got about 550 calories, 51 grams of protein. I'm good with this. I'm running with this and being okay with it. Again, it's not something I'm going to do all the time because I don't know who's behind the counter. I don't know if Jack is serving extra meat or Stacy's serving less meat, right? So I just go with this estimated guess and I'm good with it. So those are some easy ways to track things, especially when you're out to eat. If you have any questions about tracking food, I love doing this. I will forewarn you, do not do it. Do not make it a decision each meal. So don't have your food tracker right there and go, all right, I'm going to go to the deli. I'm going to guesstimate that. All right, I know I have chicken in the fridge. I'm going to estimate that. What's going to happen is I've done this for years and I still can't do this very good. What's going to happen is by the end of the day, you're going to have 100 grams of protein to eat and 300 calories, right? And you're like, oh my God, what can I eat? This 100 grams of protein, 300 calories. you'll be eating a lot of egg whites, a humongous egg white omelet, right? So it's good to pre-plan, and then you could always take things away. Another thing I always do too is breakfast and lunch for me are usually I don't vary too much from those, just because, especially during a work week, right? I'm just trying to fuel myself during the work week. Dinner's usually my wild card, and that's where I might leave it open a little bit. But so pre-plan when you go out to eat, just to make a good choice. Try to make a good estimated guess. That's about all you can do. You're not going to sit there with a food scale and whatnot, and have these things. Remember, when you're in a diet, you're trying to lose body fat. You want the least amount of time to be doing this to make it effective, right? So that's why I'm pretty strict about this. When I'm not in a diet, I visually measure my food. I know what 6 ounces of a steak looks like, and I'm good with that. So if you have any questions about food tracking, if you have a food tracker, you need some help dialing it in, you see me at the gym, tap me on the shoulder, say hi. I'll look it over. I'll maybe give you some suggestions or some tips and help. If not, you can reach out to me. Brendan and Jenny have my number, and you can always ask for it. I'm always loving answering questions for anybody. So hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you next week.